First time you ever plugged somebody?
Of course not.
Come on!
Big Trouble in Little China. What is there to say, really? This is just, I love this film. Is it perfect? No. Is it a masterpiece? Depends on your definition. Are there many other films I rewatch more? You bet your ass there isn't. With The Rock threatening a sequel, reboot, whatever it is, I wanted to talk about exactly why I love the original so much.
Let's go, it's clear.
So what is it that makes this film so great? Well, there's little more to say than it's just one hell of a lot of fun. It's silly, it's trashy, it's got its tongue about as far in its cheek as you can get. And I honestly don't think adventure flicks get better or more joyful than this. The story is pretty simple, but also at times kinda complex, which is the point really. It is the classic ages-old warring tribes tale, though transplanted from ancient China to the streets of San Francisco, with the darkest magic threatening the world with the impending full resurrection of the sorcerer Lo Pan. Jack Burton crashes into this ancient conflict, and as you hear more and more exposition about just what is happening, you get the sense of just how out of his depth this idiot is.
I'm gonna tell you about an accident. I don't want to hear act of God, okay?
He's the alpha male taken to the extreme, in a world he doesn't understand and stubbornly won't try to. Now, whereas in a film like The Terminator, which slickly told all of its exposition on the move,
it's very important that you live.
This isn't true.
here the story purposely stops dead several times to have the straight-faced cast try and explain this centuries-old war to Burton, and it is hilarious.
You mean the David Lo Pan that's chairman of the National Orient Bank and owns the Wing Kong Import-Export Trading Company, but who's so reclusive that no one's even laid eyes on this guy in years?
Who the hell are you anyway?
There actually is a lot of fascinating ideas though packed in here, and though the delivery of it is for laughs, if you dig into it as a genre fan, there is a lot to love. It works on so many levels, but you have to watch it a couple of times to really get what's going on. Otherwise, you feel like Burton, which is really what makes it all work. It is an assault on the senses, a tonally shifting montage of cinema excess, a love letter to everything genre, horror, fantasy, action, American, China. For me, there are three main things that really make this movie work. First up, look at this thing. The cinematography, the compositions, the production design, Carpenter's use of his beloved widescreen frame, drinking in the neon-lit sets, the sweaty San Francisco streets, the dusty, fantastical cabins. It is mesmerizing, deftly mixing the look of the Shaw Brothers classics with American action cinema, and probably too early for it to be any kind of success. Though it's considered by many to be a genre classic now, it flopped on its release in 1986. Shot by Carpenter's veteran director of photography Dean Cundey, this is just a fabulously inventive film. The wonderful sets are lensed with aplomb by the guy behind not only Halloween, The Fog and The Thing, but Back to the Future and Jurassic Park amongst dozens of others. And you get the sense his relationship was at its best with Carpenter here. They got on better than ever before apparently on this film, after a strained time on their previous work, and you sort of feel that in Big Trouble in Little China. The effects too, done on a relatively tight budget, are pretty stellar. To say that Carpenter apparently wasn't so happy with how they turned out seems strange, as though obviously quite dated now. There is a real beauty to a lot of it, and what they pulled off at the time is fantastic. They go all in with the sorcery in this film, and it's pretty amazing to behold when it goes full wizard battle. Now secondly, it's not just how it looks, but how it sounds. It has that wonderful Pork Chop Express theme from Carpenter, which really quite brilliantly sets up Jack Burton. Everywhere else too in the sound design, like the clashing of swords, the weird noises so many of the characters make. It's a rich soundscape that widens the scope of the film. This is Little China after all, but it simply feels more vast, more textured, due to the sound work. And this theme by John Carpenter, Nick Castle and Tommy Lee Wallace is such a fantastically cheesy bit of synth pop. The music video though, maybe stick to the film.
God, aren't you even gonna kiss her goodbye?
And last, but certainly not least, the thing that keeps me coming back over and over again, Kurt Russell.
No.
I'd imagine if you're any kind of genre fan, you worship this guy already. And the fun he's having here, along with everyone else, the self-awareness, or lack thereof that he portrays so well, is just magnificently entertaining.
Where'd you get that?
He's a Jack Sparrow, a Peter Quill.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
Who?
Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
But you have heard of me.
Before either of those characters existed. And he allows himself to remain a bit of a blowhard idiot, more than those ever could. The film redeems him only as his heart is in the right place, and he has one trick that comes in handy. Otherwise, he isn't the hero of this story, and Russell sells so well that the character doesn't realise that.
Slow down, I'm feeling a little like an outsider here.
You are!
Really, the performances in general are across the board perfect for this film. They know what film they're in, and they all are having as much fun as anyone else. I imagine being on this set was a blast. Kim Cattrall has never been better, and James Hong as David Lo Pan provides one of the most memorable 80s villain performances, which is saying something.
I will have both of you roll off to the hell where people are skinned alive. It's that simple, understand?
Basically, I wanted an excuse to talk about and celebrate this film, and push you to go watch it if you haven't yet. You need to go in with an open mind, ready to have fun, and expecting it to be self-aware. Go in expecting a genuine hero tale, a martial arts-filled epic, or a straight action flick, you'll come away disappointed, even though arguably it is all of those things and more. Go into a cinema though with a big crowd ready to enjoy themselves, and a beer in your hand, and I doubt you could ever have more fun than this. Thanks for watching. As always, please like and subscribe, and consider supporting the channel at Patreon, or follow me on Twitter to get more of my action commentary. Till next time.
You people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. And if we're not back by dawn, call the president.